As I've already mentioned, even in the physical running, we don't run to prove that we are runners or to prove any point, to anybody, or even to ourselves, most importantly to ourselves. But, we run because we're already runners. We run because we can, um, and even in this spiritual race that we are on, we don't do it to become worthy of this calling, or worthy of our salvation, but we pursue, we strive, and we work hard, towards our salvation. And God says that we need to do that. We need to work out our own salvation with fear, because it is him that is working in us. So yes, we do work. However, we don't do it to sort of stamp our worthiness. We do it because we are already worthy. So before I started running, before I started running and exercising, I used to be overweight. And I mean, yeah, I was actually obese. And I have, I'm short, so it wasn't working out for me health wise. And I used to carry around 26 kg more than my body can actually, more than my frame can actually handle. And I used to tell myself all sort of stories about that. I'm okay. God loves me no matter what size I am. It doesn't matter. I should learn to love myself. Those were the stories I used to tell myself. And you know what? I was 100% correct. God loves me no matter how I look like, no matter my size, no matter whether I exercise or not. Same thing to him. He loves me. He loves me completely. He adores me. He takes pleasure in me. I can go on and on. Um, and yes, I did need to learn to love myself more, and take better care of this body, this vessel that God has given me. Um, and I wasn't doing those things. But I realized something, that love was not even the problem here. The thing I was trying to convince myself I'm good at, that was not the problem. I believed God loved me. That was not the problem. My problem was worthiness. My problem was that I didn't think I was worthy to be fit as a person. I felt like that was a vanity project, trying to exercise and run and be a fit person. I felt like that was a vanity project, and I didn't do it, and I was a little bit lazy. But it was mostly I think the root of it was I didn't feel like I was worthy of the what I actually wanted. I didn't feel worthy to be a fit person, and I also didn't feel like I had the power to do anything about my weight. So I I kind of just passively gave up on it. And until in 2017, I attended a training, one of the trainings that I do at work, and I don't even remember what it was about that training, but I remember I left that training. We learned so many things. I left that training with such strong conviction that I am going to turn my life around. I I think one of the things that they told us was actually helping us to see that we're not just spectators of what's happening in our lives, but we are co-creators with God in our lives. And to me, that was so powerful. So I don't have to just look at what's happening in my life. I can change it. I have the power to change how I look. I have the power to change how my finances look. I have the power to there were so many things that I had written down after that to say we're gonna work on this. I have the power to do something about my relationships that are broken down. it was that I didn't just know that I had the power. I believed I had the power. And the other thing I learned was time is gonna pass anyway. So no matter how long it takes for me to do certain things, that time was gonna take was already gonna pass. So I might as well use this time to do the things I want to do. I might as well use this time to try to lose this 26 kg, no matter how gigantic that number looks and feels. This story mustn't get away from me. But I think the point I'm trying to make is that once I truly believed that I am worthy of the goals that I had, once I believed that I was worthy to be fit, worthy to be healthy, worthy to look the way I want to when I dress, once I believed that, once I believed that I was a co-creator with God in transforming my life to look a certain way, I got to it. I started working. Um, you know, the physical weight was actually just a representation for me of the emotional weight. I learned that way later in the journey when I was losing weight, because I thought, oh yes, we've lost the weight, we'll be okay. No. I think if anything, God has shown me that the emotional weight was it was a sign that there's some emotional baggage that we need to work on, and I'm grateful for that. So, yes, we are not just spectators, we are co creators, but we're not co creating to prove anything. We're co creating because we are worthy, we are capable, and we can do it. Um, so, our call to Jesus Christ is not just a call to the glory, we are also called, in his suffering. If our aim is to be exactly like him, he's a person that went through suffering, hate. The other day I was reading, what was I reading? I think it was First Peter, I forgot. But it said, even when they hurled insults at him, he did not retaliate or hate them or take revenge on them, but he took it all in. And I wanted that to sink in with me so that I remember that even when I'm persecuted, even when I feel I need to defend myself, or, I need to remember that even in this suffering, that Christ is with me, and it is all for the glory of him and for the glory of me. We are called in Thessalonians, 1 Thessalonians 2 verse 12, to walk in a manner worthy of this calling. We know the manner in which we are to walk. The loving, the being faithfulness, the kindness, the gentleness. That is the manner in which we are to be walking. Worthy of the stature that we already have. We are princes and we're princes and princesses. We are a royal priesthood. It would feel very weird in your mind if you saw a priest hurling insults at somebody or doing funny things. That picture just doesn't fit. And that's us. We are a royal priesthood. So we kind of have to walk in line with that. That makes sense. Anything else doesn't make sense. So not only are we worthy, yes, we are worthy already, but we have to walk in a manner that is within alignment. That is what we need. And finally, I want to talk about checking in. So, like any goal we have, if our goal is to be like Jesus Christ, if our goal is to, walk in all humbleness and be great and love people, love thy neighbor, and, be faithful, be truthful in our dealings, if that is the goal, then I think like any goal that we have to take stock of what's happening. We have to reflect, to check in, to examine, and to take action from that. And I think the Lord encourages that. In Lamentations 3 verse 4, God says, let us test and examine ourselves and return to the Lord. Let us test our ways and examine ourselves. Not leave it there, but return to the Lord. And I think that is so important, because once we reflect, then we can, kind of decide what's working, what's not, and move in the right direction. That's what we need. As a runner, also every time I think I cannot, run, or I'm too tired, or I feel like, oh my gosh, I haven't run in months, I can't do it, I've forgotten it, or whatever the situation I might be going through that day, what encourages me is to think back to um all the times in the past when I thought I couldn't do it and did do it, and how it even felt after that. I try to remember those times, and I think about them, and they encourage me and they serve me in that moment, in terms of what I need. But in verse 13, we are encouraged to actually not focus on what has happened in the past, but on looking towards what's ahead. And I think I agree with that 100%. And I think, yes, let us not focus on the past. We can reflect on the past and reflect only on those things that serve us, in our faith and in our obedience to Jesus Christ, and forget the mistakes, the guilt tripping things, that make us think we can't do this anymore. People are bad, so I'm just going to give up on trying to be a good person. No, we don't focus on all the times that people have disappointed us. We focus on the times when we're obedient to the cross and something great came out of that. Um, you know, and yes, we press on towards the mark. We focus on ahead, on what's going to happen ahead, and we focus on the faith and the obedience to Jesus Christ. I can talk forever. So I hope you have found this helpful to you, useful, and encouraging. That we can do all things through Him who strengthens us. And just to remind you, what is the why? Why are we doing this? What do we need for this journey? Do you have it? Who are you taking with on this journey? Who's going to help you? Let's check in. Let us not be afraid of ourselves or our experiences. Let's look. What can we learn? What are we moving away from? And never forgetting to always put our eyes